Yes, Charlie Grice going for Great Britain in this one. Better known as a 1500-metre man, but trying a few things out here. Neither of the two British 800-metre men in Rio. Elliot Giles and Michael Rimmer are here, but look out for Bosse and Rotich, the leader of the Diamond League. Nigel Amos, silver medalist, here 4 years ago behind David Rudisha. And Bram Som is, well, he's a professional pacemaker. European champion 10 years ago in his own right, but spends most of his time pacing in the Diamond League and does it very well. Nigel Amos of Botswana withdrew from the 800 in Monaco last week. Has struggled a little bit with injury this season, so we're looking to see what form he's in. Still 22, he's 18 when he finished just behind Rudisha here. Ferguson, Chariot, Rotich, the diamond race leader after wins in Shanghai and Stockholm. Second in Eugene to Boris Berrian. Second at the Kenyan Olympic trials as well to Alfred Kipketer. Pierre Ambroise Bosse can blow a bit hot and cold. Only fifth at the European Championships behind Kashot and Lewandowski and Giles and Tuka. But has some very impressive runs as well this season. So too Brandon McBride, youngest in the lineup, regularly below 145 this season, the Canadian. Shading of lanes for Charles Jock. What a story for him and his family to reach this point. Sudanese refugee and now in the United States team for Rio. Tymon Coopers of the Netherlands likes to take it out quickly. Eric Sawinski suffered in those US trials, came unstuck and will not be there in Rio. Slightly more consistent than Charles Jock throughout the season. Charlie Grice sharing a lane here with Jeff Risley, the Australian. Grice coming off that very impressive run in Monaco, 3:33.60 in the 1500 there. A good challenge for him to get involved in an 800 metres race. And Mark English of Ireland goes on the inside. And there is Ferguson Chariot, better known as Ferguson Chariot Rotich. On your mark. So he should be the man to beat here in the men's 800 metres. And Bosse just inside Rotich. Nigel Amos in the orange shirt just outside. And Bram Som on the far outside has been asked to take them through in 50 seconds to 400 metres and then about 1:16 to 600. And we'll see how quickly they go. Who can forget that wonderful, wonderful race on this track 4 years ago when Rudisha was the pacemaker and the winner. And they all strung out behind him and all went to lifetime best times. And just a bit of a gap from Som to McBride at the moment, the young Canadian who's following closest.
Well, Bram Som doing the job that he's been asked to do, pacing them along, but there's not much interest in that. And there really can't be. 3 weeks before the Olympic Games, it's not about running fast times, it's just about establishing where you are. We look at the outside, Rotich, the Kenyan, who beat the great David Rudisha into third place in the Kenyan trials. And I just wonder, this is a man we're going to be looking at in a few weeks' time. Charlie Grice, who's impressed so far, using this race as a springboard for his Olympic 1500-metre attack. Bram Som doing well, McBride following, and then down the back straight, Charlie Grice starting to run well as Bosse and France takes over.
Bosse hits the front and Amos tries to lift the pace a little bit with that rather ragged style, and McBride, an elegant runner inside, but Bosse leading them out at the moment. McBride and Amos in close contention. Charles Jock all the way at the back, and Charlie Grice is beginning to labour a little bit. But here comes Bosse. McBride trying to lift the pace, but it's Pierre Ambroise Bosse coming through for the victory surely. McBride, does he still have something? He's closing a little bit, but he's not going to get there. And Bosse hangs on just from McBride. And Chariot Rotich came through, Amos in fourth place, but Pierre Ambroise Bosse, well, he was closest to the pacemaker. When Som steps aside, he took it on. And what a time he's run there, 1:43.88. And he did it the brave way, the hard way from the front. I said that he can blow slightly hot and cold and was fifth at the European Championships, but he was in charge there.
Well, I think that was disappointment. A good result for Bosse and a surprise result in some ways. He's got the talent, but we see him on the big occasion, doesn't quite do it. Tonight, I just thought he ran a perfect race. But Charlie Grice coming off the track there, he's having a look at the time now and he'll be absolutely delighted. But here's Bosse into the finishing straight. McBride from Canada chasing him. Amos, the Olympic silver medalist, and Rotich, the man who we're looking to do well in Rio, both fading a little. Bosse holds them off. McBride runs well. Rotich just comes through. And finishing there on the screen, you can just see coming into shot at the back. There's Charlie Grice coming into the finishing straight, and he'll be delighted with this. 1:45.6. What a perfect time to run for him. A personal best for Charlie Grice, which now means when he goes to Rio for the 1500 meters, he won't be contending with these guys, but he's got an awful lot of confidence coming from that. There's Bosse. Very, very good performance. McBride looks impressive. Amos clearly struggling in third place, and Rotich just overtaking him. But these two on the way through, running well, running strongly. There's Rotich into third place. He'll be disappointed with that. But there they come through, and there's Charlie Grice, about 8th place, but for him, a terrific performance. And I think that's the way you want to go. That's a perfect night for him. Bosse wins it. McBride is second. Surprises behind. For me, the run of the night, and a great one for Great Britain, Charlie Grice, 1:45.6.
Yes, confirmation of that, and again, when he was so far down the field, it rather gives a false impression for Charlie Grice. He's not on the first page there, won by Pierre Ambroise Bosse, 1:43.88, very impressive. So too Brand.